Women asking men out should be as normal as men asking women out. On one of my travels I was in a hostel, met a beautiful girl, asked if she wanted to come to my next destination. We traveled together. Asked if she wanted to come to the monument I was visiting. She came. Asked if she wanted to come hiking up to a very steep technical mountain. She came. I helped her all the way up the mountain, which was way too difficult for her. A lot of touching. She was very grateful. There was definitely chemistry. On top of the mountain was a campsite. We decided to camp there. One tent. We looked at the sunset, stayed to watch the stars, decided to go back to the tent. I tried to make my move, cuddle up to her, try to kiss her, caress her, etc. Zero interest. I assumed I misjudged the situation and she wasn't interested in me, so I turned around and fell asleep. Next day she says, I'm disappointed. You could have tried a little harder. I really wanted to. She took zero initiative, but then puts all the blame squarely on me for not being forceful enough. She went down the mountain on her own. I think the worst are women that won't make the move because they are scared of rejection, but will be flat out rude to someone that asks them out. Was about to say that's for both genders, lol. Once had a friend who used to complain why no one asked her out, even though every time someone asked her out she was an absolute prick about it and would mock them. I knew a girl like that, and I only wanted to ask her if she wanted to come to a birthday party, purely platonic action, which I figured would be nice with her being new to the area, and she flat out told me to get lost and to leave her alone. I didn't. I told my friends, so they didn't. Everyone else found out either by her telling or me and my friends, and within a week she pretty much got avoided by everyone but me. But I couldn't avoid her. I hanged around with her brother, who did come to the party. I accidentally overheard her ask her brother while I was there one day, and that she wanted me gone, cause I turned the entire school against her with lies. I immediately opened the door fully and explained why no one talks to her and that you're the reason, not me. She then explained that it wasn't the invitation she said no to but me, because she thought I was asking her out cause that's what every guy does. So I reiterated the fact that she told me to get lost. She could have just said no or thanks, but no thanks. Pretty normal where I am. I got rejected by my now husband 3 times before he finally said yes. He tells me it's because he thought I was joking, as he comes from a different country where women don't ask men out. Where do you live? That's normal. Scotland. My husband is Polish. I guess UK compared to other European countries has more girls that do that. However, in my experience big cities tend to be the opposite. For instance, London. I would agree attitudes in the south differ. I grew up in London and my old school friends wouldn't ask a guy out. I've lived in Glasgow for 7 years now, and it's pretty normal up here. After expressing that you like someone to a group of female friends, they'll say, well, ask him round. I'm from Amsterdam and girls approach guys all the time. When I was still going out I had at least one woman approaching me per night, excluding the ones that just start dancing right up to you. I'm Polish and I was the one who asked my boyfriend out. Turned out he wanted to do the same on this exact day, lol. Me being socially awkward AF, I can muster up as much confidence possible, and asking out a girl I fancy will always leave me a mess. Not only that, but there's definitely missed opportunities with girls that so obviously we're attracted to me, but they expected me to come up and ask them out. It's a problem for guys like me, that's for sure, but at the same time I feel like if I really wanted to, I can learn how to ask someone out or something. Anything can be learned through practice. There's really nothing to learn. You just have to suck it up and do it even if it's uncomfortable. Maybe this isn't what the other dude meant, but to me that's exactly what you have to learn, lol. It's a great skill to be able to say F it and do it anyway. Female who always asks men out first here. I absolutely think the same, but it does require a lot of confidence, especially if you live in traditional areas like me. I often get rejected for rushing, being too overwhelming, too assertive, not their type. Their loss if they can't handle a strong woman. But it worked a few times, also with my current boyfriend, so it was worth it in the end. Call out to fellow female redditors, do it. Men are actually a lot more polite when it comes to rejections. They won't gossip and usually are cool with staying friends afterwards. The worst that could happen is an awkward rejection. The best outcome is a date, relationship with your crush. I proposed to my husband, and while it made perfect sense within the context of our relationship, everyone else made a huge deal about it. I get comments like, "Why did you propose to him? Didn't you think he would do it?" And others praising his confidence to say yes, because I guess it's some sign of weakness. Pretty silly social construct, if you ask me. I'm the same. I'm an extremely forward woman. I had a guy get mad at me for making a move because he was supposed to do that. I went after my husband. He wasn't gonna ask me out because he thought I was out of his league when he told me that it made me melt. Ladies, you all should absolutely be going out and being you and asking for what you want. It makes me sad to know you aren't still. We are trying to out behind us all these bogus rules. Get it, girls? I know what you mean. Had a girl I had a crush on in the past tell me she had a crush on me and said that I was in her league and above, and the whole time I felt she was out of mine. Major confidence boost. So your husband definitely would have had the same reaction you did when you asked him out. Good luck in your marriage and good on you for taking the initiative. If you want something in life, you should always go for it. It doesn't even have to be direct asking out. Just let your interest be known. My partner is definitely out of my league. I've been rejected by women of a far lower caliber. To make matters worse, I met her in a situation where I couldn't really ask her out, being the daughter of a client. I literally could not get her alone for even a moment. I'm definitely not bold enough to ask a woman out right in front of her mother. Plus she didn't live on the island, and I do. I saw her a few times over the course of the job, and after it was wrapped up I didn't think I was ever going to see her again. But then she reached out to me. She didn't ask me out, but she let it be known that she wouldn't mind spending a bit of time with me. We hung out a few times when she was on the island, before I went to the mainland for what became our first date. After about a year of long distance and ferry rides, she moved to the island. Not for me, was already planning to, and things are going very well. After my divorce I never thought I would want to remarry, but here we are, taking about where to hold the reception and baby names. I'll never understand the adherence to obsolete rules. When I was single and doing online dating, I was always surprised when women say they will never message first. You are automatically in line behind all the ones that will. The best guys will be getting messages from women, and I don't know why you wouldn't want to be one of them. My ex-boyfriend worked in a shop I frequented. I thought he was cute. I'm kinda awkward with flirting, but one day I just brought him a cookie. He knew what that meant, and the next day brought me a cookie at my job. Then we fell in love hard and fast. It didn't last too long, but it was sweet while it lasted. I've asked men out, but it ends up really awkward because a guy immediately thinks you're all for him when really I just want to get to know them. Then it becomes impossible to get rid of them. Seems that if a guy asks you out, they're much more accepting of rejection. But I've only ever asked out strangers, not friends. I really wouldn't want to risk losing a good guy friend if it didn't work out romantically. I'm female. I've been single for 2 years. I've asked out 2 men in the last year and was shot down by both. I encourage women to try, and I won't stop trying. You don't know what you could be missing out on if you always just stand by and wait. Never going to happen in my country. I live in Eastern Europe, and men asking women out is like an unwritten rule in our region. People, especially women, won't ever accept it otherwise. I've seen a post like yours on a Bulgarian forum, and the op got heavily criticized about his opinion. As a man, I struggle a lot with women, but I know it's entirely up to me to take the first step. I live on NZ. As a woman, I have had to make the first move almost every time. Otherwise I would have never had a date. And that's not because I'm a troll. Men just don't usually take risks like that here. And the ones who do, you probably don't want to date. Edit. My entire experience with people who did ask me out was that they were so overconfident that they refused to take a no for an answer. That's especially awkward when you're at work as a bartender and you have nowhere to go, and some creeper is there and refuses to get off. I've dated only one person who asked me out, and I wasn't super keen, but thought I'd give it a shot. And he turned out to be the person that refused to hear no for an answer as well. He refused to let me break up as well. I ended up getting anxiety attacks, and it became very toxic. Comment and subscribe.